I'm Dr. Amy Burge, and I'm going to be doing a show called The Romance Novel as High Art for the Cabaret Dangerous Ideas on Sunday, 20th of August at 20 minutes past 8 in the evening. So I have a PhD in women's studies, and the research I did for that was comparing different kinds of romance from different historical periods. So I looked at late medieval English romance from the 15th century and 21st century romance novels, your classic Mills and Boon romances. So I was exposed to a whole new world of romance novels and chick lit and various types of mainly women writing romance stories, and I looked at those for my PhD study, so that's kind of where I started being interested in romance as literature. So the topic's dangerous because romance is such an old genre. It's been with us since the ancient Greeks, it's been throughout medieval literature, throughout Shakespeare, it's just been with us for a really long time. But modern romance in particular doesn't really get very much respect. The minute we think about something like Harlequin, Mills and Boon, we think of heaving bosoms, and we tend to think of it in a humorous way rather than giving it respect as a literary genre. Compare it, for example, with horror or science fiction or crime, detective novels. All of these are starting to get more respect, but romance continues to not be really respected. So the idea that we can take romance as a legitimate object of literary study, something we should pay attention to, I think is a dangerous idea, and that's something that I want to challenge the audience to think about. The topic's important to me because I found out some really interesting stuff from my research. So during my PhD I compared different types of romance from different historical periods, and I realised from looking at these novels carefully for the first time that they have so much to tell us about relationships between Christians and Muslims, about women and men, about sexuality. And by not looking at these novels, by just ignoring them and dismissing them, if you like, from the study of literature, we're missing out on so much interesting information that tells us what people in the 20th and 21st century think about these ideas, which is really important. Those are questions that we ask ourselves all the time, and by not looking at these texts properly, we're missing out on that.
Tell us something we might not know about romance novels.
Something people might not know about romance novels, they actually sell more than all other types of genre fiction put together in the US, so more than horror and crime and science fiction. And actually in the UK, Harlequin, Mills and Boon, the biggest romance publisher, sell one book every 5 seconds.